Hi everyone, and welcome to our on-set series where we're going to be focusing on Holidate, and I'm going to talk about how I read the script, start to analyze it, dive deep into the content, and then I start to formulate a lookbook. And I want to kind of show you that process. Second floor balcony, New Year's Eve. Sloane, who's played by Emma Roberts, and Jackson, who's played by Luke Breezy. She's in a sexy dress. He is in a beautiful suit, drinking champagne, looking onto the festive ballroom full of couples beneath them. They're basically looking at people and then saying, hey, she was
his decorator on the new condo, hoping to be wife number 3.
Very. White satin ruffles, rented tuxedo. They are definitely getting engaged at midnight.
Wow. You're good.
It's a gift.
In the movie Holidate, it's all about this relationship that forms on somebody just being a date, and they literally go to Cinco de Mayo, to St. Patrick's Day, to Easter, to New Year's Eve, to Christmas, to Thanksgiving. All these different holidays they go. They're not in love, they're just their date. They're +1. The idea of Holidate was this beautiful thread of a relationship that starts in a mall, slowly blossoms into finally the two of them falling in love. So every Holidate is spectacular, and they have to be alive, and they have to be amazing and colorful and all this stuff. Reading the script, read it 7 or 8 or 9 times, and then out of that I start to build my lookbook. And I literally will go on to Google and I'll just start researching New Year's Eve party and images, and I'll start to see what kind of excites me. And if I'm not seeing anything that's good imagery-wise, I'll keep on sourcing it out. So New Year's, best, and then more imagery comes up. And like, I really love this image. I love the fact that they have like these firecracker things and sparklers. Trust me, we're gonna be using that. I love all the confetti, okay? This one was an image that I definitely used. This one as well. There's a huge balloon dump that we were inspired with all of this, and we put them all up into the ceiling, and we were going to drop them all down. So what we opted for is CGI balloons. And believe it or not, they looked very good and real. So we didn't have to deal with all the resets of dropping all the balloons and then cleaning them all up off the floor and putting them all up there and doing it again. We didn't have to do any of that. And we made our days because of this. Look at kind of how the camera kind of almost smears in almost a long exposure. I wanted to do that not weirdly with smearing camera, but do it with color. So I wanted the color to just consume the image. And by consuming the image, I say that the colors are basically flooding the digital sensor with so much color that it kind of folds over. And this is something that Dave Cole, who was our master colorist, did with me. And we formulated this incredible color science with the color scientists at Photochem to get this bleed over of color. And I think it works really well. In all these dance scenes, the color is just, look at how it's bleeding on her arm here. And when it goes into, see how it's just bleeding all over the blues and the golds and the magentas. So that was my idea in regards to the lookbook and the smearing of the image. Instead of doing it with long exposures where everyone just becomes very blurry, I wanted to do it real time, but just basking them in fold over color. Here's the sparkler. I had this image, and then that's what sparked the whole thing. What if they light a table on fire? This was never in the script. So these are the kind of serendipity things that just out of a lookbook, it starts to generate and form new ideas within the script. This I also love, just the backlight and all the champagne being poured. We didn't want to go super crazy like this, but you feel this atmosphere on the dance floor. Even in the beginning shot where we're coming in, you know, the dance floor is just flooded with color down in the bottom. And then I went to a Coldplay concert and I saw them all with their cell phones out. And they would say, put out all your cell phones, and people would move them like this. And I was like, wow, that's a really cool idea. What if we give them rings that are these little like spheres that are LED, and they light up all these different colors, and we'll lay them in the audience as well. So now it's a layer of color on top of a layer on color on top of a layer on color. Again, creating this bleed over color to just make New Year's Eve look like nothing you've really ever seen before. See all the rings that are on all those people's fingers and those globes that are all moving adds a beautiful element along with the movie projector. Because what I thought would be really cool is when they're, you know, people watching and talking about people, wouldn't it be cool to have this in extreme close-ups? These really tight shots, and as they're talking and the projection is on them as well. And then we kind of hinge over to Luke and it's projected on him as well. I just thought that was gonna bring a whole other element to this space. So we treat it as what it was. It was used to be a theater that transformed into a movie house, that transformed into a nightclub. So we have the stage, then I brought in the movie projector to create all these beautiful shafts of light and everything, and this fold over color kind of technique. There is a scene where I have this golden xenon sweeping across the whole crowd while they're dancing. And this was the inspiration from this image. So I was like, wow, that just looks so cool. Again, the whole world turns a tonality of this gold color. I've been fine-tuning my shot listing in my prep process. Now I include the blocking schematic in with the shot list, but I'm showing you the feel of these shots in the shot list. And then I want to do an homage to Dirty Dancing. And in this, I thought it would be really cool. They're all dancing, and then all of a sudden, the spotlight hits Emma when the Dirty Dancing song comes on. And he's like,
Nobody puts baby in a corner.
and now as she swirls, the spotlights splay out. It's kind of what I wanted is, as the lights created the spotlight, and then from the spot, it's all 12 of the movers, all beamed onto her. So that's why she blows out, which I loved, because the whole place went black kind of around her. So it was like that moment, right? And then as he spins her and they break apart, the light goes from the center and it splays out as they take their steps back. And then I love this moment when she kicks off her heels. He's like, oh crap, I gotta get ready here. I'm gonna whip off my jacket. And on the whip off, that was the lighting change to Dirty Dancing. Dirty Dancing used a lot of pink and a lot of gold magenta. So this was taking that concept of pink and gold, but then again, putting my stamp on it with infusing the fold over of color to be able to then make it kind of new and different. And this is how you dive into the script, read in between the lines, create your lookbook, and start to really find these images that then really shape the whole story and deliver this amazing fold over color in Holidate.